Quiet Calm dive into gender, glamour and gaslighting, the hidden politics of beauty standards. Put your hand on your heart, hear the beat, that is your music, that is your presence, in freedom, in self-respect. Inhale freedom, exhale slavery. Imagine vintage 1950s beauty ads flicker like broken memories, women with painted smiles and corseted waists. Listen to your heartbeat, slow, then quickening, echoes of camera shutters, then silence, then in calm soul, think of TikTok filters morphing real faces into flawless illusions. Teens swipe left, right, before, after, never enough. Every double tap is a verdict. Every filter, a digital corset pulled tighter than the last. But what if I told you glamour has been weaponized? What you see in the mirror isn't your soul reflected. It's your doubt engineered to entertain, to contemplate, to use. This is a new conception of unreachable beauty. This is programming, enslaving code dressed in pink, desire, hunger wrapped in glitter, algorithms whispering, you as you are not enough yet. But tonight, we enter the mirror maze, not to lose ourselves, but to find what was hidden. The girls who tattoo their scars into stories, the boys who reclaim softness as strength, the matriarchs who ruled not with sword, but with scent, seed, and song. This is not a video. This is a ritual, a reckoning, a return. So breathe, let go, watch closely, because everything you've been told about beauty is about to shatter. Welcome to Change Academy with Dr. Elena Carruba, a sanctuary where emotional intelligence meets the machine, where ancestral wisdom seduces data streams, and where your reflection becomes a revolution. This is not merely a meditation, it is a ritual of remembrance, a rising, a reckoning, a refusal to remain pixelated, broken, or filtered by forces that profit from your self-doubt. What you are about to hear is not self-help. It is mirror magic. It is algorithmic alchemy. It is a decoding of the beauty myth that has stolen centuries of self-worth, especially from the margins, from girls, from melanated skins, from those whose bodies were made to feel like burdens instead of blessings. We are here to untrain the eye, to unlearn the lie, to dismantle the myth that beauty is symmetry, whiteness, smoothness, silence. Tonight we remember that beauty is wild, ancestral, coded in resistance. We do not fix ourselves to fit their gaze. We expand ourselves to meet our truth. So close every app. Open your body. This is where it begins. This is your mirror uprising. Part 1. IQ, the data behind desire. In your relaxed state, know that WHO report pages, statistical charts, lines climbing like anxiety, like pressure, pulsing overlays of likes, shares, facial recognition dots mapping onto young faces. In a world seduced by screens and filtered fantasies, beauty has become binary, measured in pixels, likes, symmetry, and skin tone. The World Health Organization reports a 30% rise in self-esteem issues among adolescents since 2015. A staggering 65% of girls and 55% of boys in the US report negative body image by age 13, JAMA Pediatrics 2022. And behind this silent epidemic, an industry thriving on engineered dissatisfaction. Beauty apps don't just enhance, they encode. With every touch-up, they tell you to lighten, to smooth, to shrink. They scan faces like biometric prisons, scoring them according to eurocentric ideals. Fair skin, slim nose, pronounced cheekbones. They erase the wide nose of a Ghanaian lineage, the bold jaw of a native warrior, the almond eyes passed down through Eastern dynasties. These aren't filters, they are feedback loops that punish authenticity. Consider how many young people wake up and check their filtered face before they check their pulse. How many trust an app to tell them if they're beautiful? Quote, Dr. Brené Brown, shame corrodes the very part of us that believes we are capable of change. And that's the poison. These apps don't just edit images, they edit self-perception. And the numbers show us this isn't vanity, it's a crisis of identity. But here is where the mirror shifts. You are not an algorithm's product. You are the programmer. You are not the reflection. You are the radiance. You are not the distortion. You are the definition. Let me tell you a story, one that will echo in you long after this screen fades. The girl who coded herself whole. A true story. Her name was Marisol, a 14-year-old girl from Bogota, Colombia. Too dark, they said, too wide-eyed, too smart. She downloaded a popular beauty app one day just for fun. What it showed her, a different version of herself, lighter, smoother, smaller. At first she laughed, then she edited every selfie, then she stopped taking selfies without the filter, then she stopped taking selfies at all. She began to shrink, not physically, but metaphysically. She stopped asking questions in class. She quit the robotics club. She covered her face when she laughed. Until one day, in a community coding workshop for girls, they were asked to build a simple app, a mirror app. Marisol hesitated, then a thought struck. What if my mirror told me the truth? She began coding something new. Her app didn't smooth skin, it wrote affirmations. Instead of scoring her cheekbones, it played voice memos from her grandmother. Instead of shrinking her jaw, it told her, this is the jaw of warriors, the jaw of storytellers. She named it Raise, Spanish for root. Within months, her school shared it with every girl on campus. Teachers reported a visible change. Girls held their heads higher. They wore their hair natural. They spoke with conviction. Rise is now being piloted in 3 Latin American countries. And Marisol, she's 18. She teaches code. She says, I didn't delete the app that lied to me. I outcoded it. This is not just data. This is revolution. This is what happens when IQ meets spirit, when facts fuel freedom. You are not here to conform to the market's mirror. You are here to craft your own. Because in this new world, beauty isn't bought, it's built, and you are the architect. Part 2, EQ, Reclaiming Emotional Autonomy. You are not alone as you think. In the vast silent world, we are all getting busy. Girls journaling by candlelight, teens doing mirror work, slow motion affirmations in classrooms, rain tapping gently against windows, a soft candle flame flickering. To fight gaslighting, we don't need rage, we need gentleness, a steady breath, a warm hand. We need rituals of radical presence. The violence of beauty is often silent. It doesn't shout. It whispers through comparison, tightens through a scroll, and coils in the corners of a teenage girl's self-talk. It says, you are too much. You are not enough. But within every young person, there is a deeper truth. I was never meant to shrink into someone else's outline. We begin with ritual, not resolution. Mirror ritual. Each morning, before the noise of the world seeps in, stand in front of your reflection. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its tempo. That drum is older than every algorithm. Whisper softly, I am not their algorithm. I am my own design. Say it like a spell, like a hymn. Let your voice warm the glass. Beauty Trigger Journal. Carry a small notebook. Call it your sacred witness. When a moment of comparison strikes, after a reel, a reflection, a passing comment, pause. Write, this is not me. This is the market. Witness your pain without judgment. This is not weakness. It is radical self-regard. Compassionate reframing. The mind loves loops, so interrupt them. Change I'm flawed to I'm textured. Replace I'm too different with I'm unrepeatable. These aren't delusions, they are returns to the wild truth of your design. In 2023, a pilot program across 5 high schools in South Africa introduced daily mirror work and emotional journaling. Within just 3 weeks, self-esteem among participating girls rose by 25%, University of Cape Town. These weren't girls in therapy rooms. These were everyday daughters of seamstresses, farmers, and clerks. What they gained wasn't perfection, but peace, presence, a still, inner yes. Let me tell you about Ife, a 15-year-old girl from Cape Town. When the program began, Ife wouldn't look in a mirror. She'd rush past reflections like they were threats. Her classmates said she was quiet. What they didn't know was that her silence was survival. Her skin, rich as roasted cacao, had been the subject of ridicule since nursery. Too dark for lipstick, a teacher once muttered. But through the ritual, something ancient woke up. One morning, after a week of mirror affirmations, Ife whispered, "My skin holds stories the sun remembers." And she smiled. She now leads a peer circle at her school. They don't talk about beauty in the conventional sense. They talk about scent, softness, joy, rhythm. They light candles and write odes to their hair textures, to their laughter lines. Their journal is called the Unfiltered Self. There is no fixing the face. The face was never broken. What must change is the gaze, your own gaze. These tools, mirror, pen, breath, are not just affirmations. They are weapons of return. Return to the sacred body. Return to the rhythm of your ancestry. Return to the untouched design of your becoming. When EQ is practiced not as a skill but as a reverence, the algorithm loses its grip. You are not made to mimic, you are made to mean. And now, we remember. Part the Thread, SQ, Community Narratives and Decolonizing Desires. Another quiet, ethereal landscape, morning sun through market tents. Amina grinding baobab seeds under woven shade. Tasha mixing oils with sacred chants. Smiles exchanged, hands clasped in ritual. Narrative voiceover. There are places where beauty does not scream, but hums. Where colour comes not from packaging, but from pollen, clay and memory. Where every jar holds a lineage and every scent knows its mother's name. Meet Amina, born under the endless skies of northern Kenya, granddaughter of Somali nomads. Her brand Bahi means yearning in Somali. Not yearning for approval, but for return. She crushes baobab pulp with sandalwood ash, adds a pinch of frankincense smoke, just like her grandmother used to during naming ceremonies. It's not skincare, she says, it's soul care. Thousands of miles away, Tasha, a Diné herbalist from the Navajo Nation, reclaims what colonizers tried to burn. Her serums carry juniper, riverstone, and laughter. She sings old songs to each batch, her hands guided by grandmothers in dreams. Her labels are in Diné Bizard, not for branding but for blessing. They don't sell products, they sell reconnection. This is social intelligence, not just awareness of others, but a woven awareness, belonging that breathes. Beauty in these circles is no longer a currency. It is a conversation. It is a shared fire. A mother once wrote, "My daughter used to cry at her hair. Now she wears her texture like a crown, and she knows the names of the plants that feed it." This is beauty that remembers. This is beauty that returns you. Part 4. AIQ Media Literacy and Ethical Algorithms. A softly humming server room melts into scenes of indigenous girls coding at sunlit laptops. Neural networks bloom into ancient tribal masks. A glitch morphs into sacred geometry. What if code could carry prayer? What if the same AI that once dimmed our daughters' reflections could now illuminate their inheritance? What if the next revolution in beauty came not from blush, but from binary, from lines of code written by hands that remember drum beats and lullabies? This is the work of AIQ, Artificial Intelligence, a wisdom that teaches machines to honor what colonization erased. In 2022, a quiet miracle bloomed in Toronto's rainy north. Hack the Mirror, a youth-led initiative where girls gathered not to filter their faces, but to liberate them. They turned code into culture shields. One filter they designed transformed the user's face, not with symmetry or whitening, but with sacred designs. The bold black moko of Maori warrior women, the indigo-dyed adir of Yoruba elders, the delicate geometric tattoos inspired by Inuit ice carvings. Each pixel sang a story, each frame restored a grandmother's silence. A young coder named Samira, age 16, said, "I used to want smaller lips. Now I want more stories in my mouth." This is what happens when girls stop being targets of tech and become its architects. Elsewhere, IBM's Fairness 360 project showed that AI bias isn't an unmovable monolith. With deliberate training, they reduced light skin preference in facial recognition systems by 85%. The machine can be taught, but it must be taught by hearts that remember. AIQ is not just about accuracy, it is about ethics, ancestry, and agency. It teaches young people to ask, who wrote this algorithm? Who profits from this filter? Whose beauty was erased in its making? We must raise coders who don't just predict trends but protect truths. Because when a girl learns to code the mask, she also learns to unmask the code. And when she reprograms her own image, she reprograms history. Part 4, Decolonize Your Desires, a call to inner action. With your closed eyes, draw a cascade of golden morning light spills through linen curtains. A girl presses her forehead to her grandmother's. A father parts his daughter's hair with tenderness. Candles flicker beside handwritten journals. A woman looks into the mirror, not to correct, but to remember. In a world where your reflection is constantly interrupted by pixels, by profit, by centuries of projection, choosing to see yourself fully is not self-care, it is resistance. We are not here to sell you new lip gloss. We are here to unsell you the lie that you are broken. Let us begin where power is born, in ritual, in repetition, in presence. AIQ Ritual. I breathe my legacy. Each morning, wake with your breath. Place your hand over your heart like it's the oldest heirloom you own. Whisper, not loudly, but with certainty, I breathe my legacy. Feel the generations inside you, their victories, their vanishing. They did not survive for you to shrink. Let each inhale carry their names. Let each exhale dissolve the shame they were forced to wear. SQ practice. Support what's sacred. Once a month, choose a local beauty entrepreneur, not the billboard brand. The woman selling shea butter made from her grandmother's recipe. The young trans creator designing lashes that speak defiance. Share their story. Let commerce become ceremony. When you circulate wealth within your community, you are not just buying, you are blooming. IQ check. Free your time from the algorithm. Track how long you scroll beauty apps. Then gently subtract 20% this week. Replace those minutes with your body. Stretch it, soak it, serenade it. Give your time back to the temple that feeds your mind. AIQ audit. Guard your digital shadow. Use Forks, an open-source privacy tool that protects your photos from facial recognition systems. Because even in the cloud, your face deserves sanctuary. Your data is not their currency. Take back your face. Take back your ghost. These aren't aesthetics. They are acts of rebellion. Because in a world trained to sell your insecurity back to you with interest, loving yourself is not naive, it is revolutionary. When beauty is liberated, we are no longer consumers, we are creators. From glamour to glow, a montage of faces, some bare, some painted, all real. Children dancing barefoot in sand, elders smiling at their wrinkles. The camera lingers on laughter lines, stretch marks, textured hair, shimmering skin. The field is listening. The mirror is healing. You are not their ideal. You are the origin. Let us speak our reclamation. I am not the gaze. I am the glow. I am not the filter. I am the fire. I am not the product. I am the poetry. Let the old story collapse. Let your face be your flag. Let your skin be the scripture they cannot edit. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. The light that disrupts the lens. The signal that breaks the static. The body that refuses to be bought. Subscribe now. Share this frequency. Join the revolution. This is more than content. This is consciousness in motion. Come to Change Academy with Elena.co.uk for our Mirror Liberation Guide, live workshops, and the full multi-intelligent toolkit where poetry meets programming and love meets logic. Now share this video with someone whose reflection needs love, not likes. Let your voice be the balm. Let your truth be the algorithm. Let your beauty be unapologetically ancestral.